Hello! So we have Moon in Leo for the next couple of days. This is adding a lot of positive emotion, a lot of optimism, a lot of expressiveness, a lot of fun, a lot of lightness, brightness to an otherwise pretty heavy collection of energies. Not that heavy is necessarily bad, but having so much Saturn ruled energy, we have Sun and Mercury and Venus all in Saturn ruled energies. Sun's actually crossing from one Saturn ruled energy to another. And then Saturn is there, conjunct Mercury. It's nice to have this Moon in Leo for today and tomorrow and even the first part of the day after that. Because it's, again, it's just lifting us up a bit. And I think, especially since we're in the last part of Mars and Sagittarius transit, I think it's probably got another about week ago, maybe six or so, week to go, or about like 6 days ahead of us. To be able to experience that fire energy, which is, again, it's the Moon in Leo is kind of waking up. I keep messing up words today. Mercury retrograde. The Moon is waking up Mars to be even more optimistic about whatever it is that we're doing. And I think that's really positive. We really need that fire energy because, again, our minds are very focused, and it could be a very beautiful thing. It could be very good. It's not to say that's a bad thing, but Mercury is retrograde. It's in Aquarius and it's conjunct Saturn. And in particular, for Mercury to be in Aquarius and being conjunct Saturn, there's a big seriousness there. There's a big focus. The Saturn-Mercury conjunction, especially, that can be quite heavy. And with Mercury retrograde, this is a time period where we naturally need to go more inwards and introspect to understand whatever it is that our vision for the long-term future is. It's a good, kind of like back in October we talked about, it was like, it's a time to reconfigure our minds and to get all the information right and to fill in the gaps with anything that we don't quite know enough about yet. And to also get our ideas and our ideals right for what we want to be doing with our lives in general, even especially with this kind of energies with Saturn being conjunct Mercury, because that's all about long-term vision and future. But especially our future over the next year or so. Our future is just basically the focus for our minds right now. So whatever the time frame might be, whether it's the next year, the next 10 years, or 30 years, or the rest of our lives, I think especially the longer term, like 30 years, rest of our lives, is the big focus that a lot of people are experiencing. But again, Mercury is retrograde, so we're going through some deep inner stuff. As per, again, getting information, etc. I think again, that Moon in Leo helps with this. It's bringing some optimism. It's helping us. It's stimulating this particular conjunction because, especially over the next day, transiting Moon is opposite it. So we might be able to get some information. We might get a positive message from somebody else. We might, especially considering Moon is one of the feminine astronomical bodies along with Venus, we could have a really good conversation with a female or even just the feminine side of a male. Or somebody from our past comes up who's a female, or is some kind of welcome sight for sore eyes. So there's a lot of good potential, essentially, with as much as we are going through this serious time period for what we're thinking about and what we're focused on. It's good to lighten up a bit over the next couple of days. We need to lighten up, otherwise we get too caught up in the heaviness part of things. And again, we got Venus retrograde as well in Capricorn. So there is that focus too on relationships, and kind of the phrase that keeps coming to me is rewriting the rules or rewriting the laws of our relationships. And the good relationships are just going to keep getting better. If anything, this is a really good time to distill the essence of who we interact with in our personal lives to make sure that whoever is there is truly there for us. It's like that which is unsteady or not truly solid and steel, right? Or even diamond with that kind of pressure, that'll crumble away. That relationship will go away, and that's okay. That'll create the time and space for the new relationship to emerge. Or even with a diamond relationship, there's certain, again, kind of weird metaphor warrior here, but there's room for the diamond to grow, and so maybe certain aspects of the relationship need to be kind of crumbled away, some kind of relating or something. So this is a good idea during this time to ask yourself, okay, how are my relationships with those around me? And even though I think the love aspect of things has been really the focus for this last month, with Sun being in Capricorn as well as Venus being retrograde in Cap, with the sun going into Aquarius in about 2 days' time, the focus is going to be a little bit more on the wider relationships in our life. So of course romantic will be there, because ultimately we need to be best friends with our partner for it to be a truly satisfying, fulfilling bond. But I think our close friendships, as well as our relationships with people in general, especially as per work, and making sure that we feel really fulfilled as per our work, with Saturn and Mercury being in Aquarius as well, that's going to be a little bit more the focus coming up. So that's a little sneak preview of what we'll get into, over the next several weeks. But I think that's really good to keep in mind, even already, with now that we're out of the full moon. I forgot it was a full moon, by the way. I didn't mention that in the last video, I don't think. So I hope it was an enjoyable full moon for you. We are moving into a lot lighter spaces, and the sun going into Aquarius is going to help that as well. I think the last thing, again, Mars going into Capricorn in about 6 days to a week from now or so. We'll cover that as time goes on, but we're going to be able to start a new focus for Mars, which is a cycle being able to be ambitious with, and to get stuff started. And we'll cover that next time. But there's a lot of good stuff to look forward to, as per being able to count on tangible progress moving forward, which I think is going to be a really welcome energy with all of the kind of plans and ideas and vision that we have going on in our minds right now. Yeah, I think that's good for today. As always, I'm doing readings. Feel free to get into contact with me in the description, and infinite love to you, my friends. Namaste. Peace.